For anyone watching this video, they probably are aware that this video is about Christmas. I mean, it says it in the title. Oh, for fuck's sake. Just, come on, Sargon, read things before you click on them. Okay, jokes aside. So I am going to be covering the subject of classism in Christmas, or in specifically how we celebrate Christmas. So, as you all are aware, around Christmas, we buy gifts for each other, or we're supposed to buy gifts. We're expected to buy gifts for each other, and there's a very high social pressure to do so. And this actually isn't traditional to Christmas historically, or even to Saturnalia. Saturnalia, which actually was essentially about having a feast to celebrate the harvest, which I think is really the best part of the holiday. I always thought that having a great dinner with your family was the best part, and maybe exchanging a couple of gifts. But I feel that we put too much onus on gift giving. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, well, consumerism. We have this idea that you're supposed to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on your children for gifts, or for gifts for your family, for other people in your family. And it's like an expectation. As much as I've loved receiving gifts on Christmas, I mean, I think everybody loves receiving gifts, we definitely, like I said, put too much onus on gift giving. While getting like a new console is awesome, and I'll save up like my money for the sales around the holiday, and that's more because I'll be able to afford something due to the fact that it's cheaper, and not because it was something that I would have wanted to get anyway. But Jade Crimson actually did a great video on this subject, Is Christmas Classist? I was planning on doing one of those videos this week, but I got caught up in some stuff this week, so I'm just going to do the video right now. So, with Christmas, the holiday, again, like I said, we have this onus on the gift-giving part. We don't really think about what the celebration was actually about. It has essentially become a holiday for capitalist Americana, and it is essentially meant to drive up the profits for people for the CEOs, for the people on top, while we still continue to get fucked over by the capitalist system. That's my nicest way of putting it. So again, we already have addressed the consumerism issue, because if people are buying more things, they are making more money regardless of whether the percentage is lower. And that means that we are told essentially to buy into this. We have been raised culturally to see this as somehow a noble act when you could put your money into charity, which is something that, quite honestly, I think is a much better endeavor, a much more noble endeavor than buying your kids, like 6 different video game consoles. Like, come on, you kids, you can deal with one. I mean, okay, so, jokes aside, I'm not trying to be like that person who's like, wanting to have nice things is bad, because it's not a bad thing necessarily to want to have a nice game system to use for entertainment. I mean, like I said, I have video games that I play. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that everything is played up to get a massive profit. And, of course, I dropped my guitar in the background. Excuse any noises from the background. I don't have any kind of, like, expensive studio equipment or anything like that. Of course, I will get a computer I will be getting a hand-me-down computer after this, so I can do a lot more sound editing. Hopefully I can get like a nice mic for only like $40 or so. And hopefully I could increase the quality of the videos. Although, that out of the way, I think that actually that's part of the problem, is that we're taught that we need this stuff. Quite honestly, we don't, and while there are people starving, homeless, absolutely cold on the streets. I mean, I don't live in Canada, but I live in the northern United States, and the border of Canada is only 2 hours away, and oh my god, it gets fucking cold in Massachusetts. Yeah, I mean, in the northern United States, it gets cold in the winter. It easily goes down to negative 10 degrees Celsius. Yes, I use Celsius because I'm not an asshole and I don't think the world revolves around America. So, yeah, I mean, it can easily drop 10 degrees below freezing, and we've got this. So, we have this position in society where we are told that we're bad people if we don't provide essentially miscellaneous items for our family. If we don't get them that new 55-inch TV when their 50-inch TV should be good enough. Sorry, projecting here because now that I am shit. Can I edit that out? No, I can't. I'm not going to even bother. But I'm projecting because now as an adult, I am expected to buy gifts for my family. It's just an expectation. People assume that you are going to do so. And there is an absolutely... And, I mean, again, it feeds the capitalist class. And if you go and donate your money to charity, you are somehow some evil person. If you... all the spare money you get and you go and you give it to the needy? I mean, think about it. How fucked up our priorities are on that. Because, quite honestly, capitalism is a system that is meant to hold people down. And unlike what many liberals think, is that you can reform capitalism, make capitalism better for everyone. But think about it, if you're a feminist, think about it this way. When I hear the whole capitalism should be made to work better for everyone, that makes me think the same way that, and of course I am a feminist too, it makes me think patriarchy needs to be made a bit more fair. Well, if it's made a bit more fair, there's no patriarchy. If you make it fair, if you make the system fair, if you make it better and you make it work for everybody, by definition it wouldn't be patriarchy. It wouldn't be capitalism if the workers owned the means of production. Like I said, nothing wrong with having some things for entertainment. But just think about it for a second, how this doesn't relate to the supposed Christian origins of Christmas. And there's a reason I'm saying supposed there, because I brought up Saturnalia, which was a celebration of the harvest, which happened around the same time. This isn't Jesus' birthday. Jesus may very well not have existed, and if he did, we don't know what his birthday was. So that's the actual truth, is that there is nothing related to... It's almost completely unrelated to Christianity, except for the fact that Saturnalia, during what was essentially Yule, Adam Ruins Everything actually did a great video on the subject, but essentially when they were having their festivities. The church just decided to push in Christian symbolism to be like, hey, it's Jesus' birthday, probably, and if you accept that, if you make this about Jesus, we'll let you keep having the parties. And of course, they're like, yeah, whatever, it doesn't really matter to us what it's about. And quite honestly, I don't think there's anything wrong with having parties and festivities where everyone has a feast. No, of course, I would definitely like to question the whole meat-eating establishment because, well, we live in a time where we don't necessarily need to eat meat. But I mean, again, no need to throw my veganism in your face. So, yeah, I mean, it ultimately just comes down to the whole... so there's more than just classism. I mean, you start to see xenophobia, too, because if you celebrate anything other than Christmas, if you celebrate Hanukkah, you celebrate Ramadan, you don't celebrate any holidays at all, you're an outcast. You're considered an outcast by society. Where I have friends who celebrate Ramadan, Hanukkah. I don't know if I have any friends who celebrate Kwanzaa, but if they do, I perfectly am fine with that. So yeah, you get those people who start getting mad about how Starbucks cups are anti-Christian because this is supposedly a Christian nation in their mind, which, no, it's not. It really fucking isn't. But, it comes down to these people essentially wanting special treatment. Like they claim these quote-unquote social justice warriors, leftists, and cultural Marxists. I mean, I definitely take the leftist one, and hell, I even jokingly call myself a cultural Marxist because it's a term with absolutely zero meaning. But I mean, it essentially, you have these people who are essentially they also project their feelings about things onto other people, like, oh, you're just being too sensitive that we say Merry Christmas. I don't care if you say Merry Christmas personally. If you say Merry Christmas, I'll probably say it back because, well, you just said it, and that means I know you celebrate that holidays. But when you get mad because people don't go out of their way to bend over backwards to say Happy Holidays, I mean, this is a country where we have people like War Corps who are ridiculously jingoistic, who are absolutely... and we have a very nationalist kind of air to us. I mean, we elected a white nationalist, essentially. I mean, the guy was endorsed. Like, no, the KKK didn't just say, this is our favorite candidate if we had to pick one. No, they were like, we love this guy. This guy is our favorite. So, just think about how Christmas is problematic, I guess, because it demonizes the poor, it demonizes the black, it demonizes I don't know where I was going with that analogy. It demonizes minorities, it demonizes marginalized people, it demonizes anyone who's not originally from America, or even American citizens who just don't celebrate Christmas. So this is essentially a holiday of selfishness, of this self-centered, it's a self-centered Eurocentric holiday, to be quite frank, in this country. It's all the traditions date back to Europe, well, except for the whole capitalist Americana, because America is just great at throwing capitalism into everything consumerism. Yeah, you'll notice that I complain a lot about capitalism on this channel, and I also get very ranty with my stuff, but that's because I don't have the proper equipment to make these videos professionally in any kind of manner, in any real capacity. But my point is that just remember, Christmas is classist, Christmas is racist, Christmas is very nationalistic and Eurocentric. And you might want to think about it around this time of year, because you probably buy those gifts not thinking about it. Maybe donate to a charity, but do research, because some of those charities, some of the guys who run the charities are rich and are actually getting rich off of the charities. So, again, I'd suggest you do research. I probably should have researched a charity for homeless people to see if I could find one that would. But again, I really didn't have this video planned out very well. So, yeah, that's just meant to be food for thought. I'll let you guys take whatever position you may on it.